Hello, this is take two. My screen froze up when I was doing really good too. Anyways, welcome to Journey 2 homework, the serpent and the tree. That's what the Inner Balance Journey 2 is all about. Now I want to go ahead and show you this. I'll send a picture too along with it. Just take a look at this. It shows the disc, the circle that has the plus sign in it. And each little piece of the pie represents the spiritual, emotional, physical, mental. And we talked about, in the previous one, we talked about like what disrupts your physical body. Like if you're walking, uneven ground, being distracted. And then we talked about things that would enhance it instead of disrupting it, things that like might feed it, give it some nutrition. And that was being mindful, like really paying attention to the person you're talking to on the phone, really paying attention to the meal that you're making, really paying attention to the steps that you're taking. So if there's like a rock in the way or uneven ground, you're prepared for it. So at the end of the journey, we talked about the upper disc here and how we can work with that. And I'm curious to see if the things you put on your disruptors and your enhancers, I wonder if those are the same. Like if you think of spiritual, for instance, I guess uneven ground in that could be maybe not really aligning with something spiritual, but maybe your family did. I could see how that would really disrupt it. I could also see how there could be some different things too. You could even bring in some things from religion from the beginning of your time to right now, and think about those things. If anything pops up, feel free to write those down or think about them, sit with them. I really, really encourage everybody to try the sand painting from the homework number 1 because, excuse me, sand paintings are really big medicine. They're very simple and they're profound. So if you get a chance, you can even do a sand painting with all of the things included, all of the 4 parts of you, the physical, spiritual, emotional, mental. You can put all of those in there. Mental could also be like, for instance, some people in my family, we have some things that are characterized as mental illness. We have like the anxiety, the depression, selective mutism, where the anxiety is so much that maybe somebody can talk at home, but if they go to, outdoor in the public, that like the words just get stuck. That's what selective mutism is. So those disruptors, like what do those things represent? Like for me, it prevents me from doing some things. Like if I'm too anxious, it prevents me from enjoying things fully. And so some of the things I would think that might enhance that would be, just doing my best to know myself. Like if I go somewhere, like if I have to go grocery shopping, I'll pick a time where there's not that many people, but I can still practice being, brave by going and, feeding my family and providing for them. I could also wear my headphones, like bring in some music and then that way it brings me back into my body instead of like being an empath and picking up all this energy all around. So that would just be a walk or a grocery store visit, just for me and focusing. So those are just a few examples to get you on your way. So the homework is if you could go back and do the sand painting with all of these, that'd be great. And if you don't want to, that's fine. These are just little, they want me to say adjustments, but these are just examples of something that might be of service for you. So we also talked about, we had this symbol in the last one where we balanced it. So instead of this straight line for the balance, we have this beautiful disc that rotates. It's balanced on this, but this is also a conduit that goes down to your inner compass. Now, if you're not on the Way Showers on Facebook, or listen to the recording that I did on Karen Elizabeth Sage Healer's YouTube. We did a little journey about the inner compass, and it was really, really good. So I'm going to put a link in this video down below so you can see, so you can hear that. It's in the beginning. And then the ladies, Debbie from Freebird Spirit and Karen, they do readings. But the journey is in the beginning. So everybody has an inner compass, and that one we recalibrated it. We had an adjuster come in, and they traded out the old weathered one for a new compass. So that one is really good, and it was asking where your true north is with all of your situations that are coming and going. Sometimes you need to recalibrate your balance, and you need to recalibrate your true north. So in this picture, all of this information feeds off this. And then it's like a circle that keeps going around and around. Like this feeds that information, this feeds that, and it just keeps going and going. So it's important for recalibration, especially in these times where we have solar flares, we have planets doing crazy things, and then we have everything on Earth going on in our houses, in our communities, in our nation, just everywhere. So there's a lot of, so it's really important to go in and do your best, because once you calibrate your own stuff, you really help the person next to you, the people in your home, and then they go out and they enhance the other people. Because really, when we talk about the fabric of life, we all might have like these different threads and stuff, but we're like the same quilt. We're the same woven piece, if you will. So if you have somebody over here who's like, la, 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 if you like settle yourself, even if you don't know that person, it might slow it down a little bit. If you walk by them and you're balanced as much as you can, you might influence them. It's energy. Energy's awesome. Okay, and then for the second part of the homework before the journey, and like I said, the journey's kind of come right after this. Listen to it when you're ready. Weekends or when you have time are always good. Make yourself a little chart, because I am a snake lover when it comes to energy work. The snake comes in and devours whatever is no longer needed or you're ready to release. Or maybe isn't yours. So we are using the snakes in the trees. I got this message a while ago, a couple years ago. It was two big messages that came through when I was meditating. And one is this: it's time for the snakes to fall from the trees. And that for me means, anything up there that's like sneaky, secretive, hiding, is not in line with your heart space or the heart space of the earth, or the heart space of our nation. It's all kind of connected. So that's what I think. Like the snakes falling from the trees are the ones who think they're hidden. And, like maybe sometimes, the people who put like things in products that aren't good for us, and they know it's not good for us, but they put it in there anyway. Like those are the snakes I want to fall out of the tree. The people who aren't nice to animals, and the people who, aren't nice to children. Those are my snakes. So anyways, so write down, who are your snakes? You can name names. You can name situations. That's in the first column. Okay. And the second column is what do these situations or people represent in your life? And then we're going to go a little bit deeper, because we are going to be asking for things. And instead of saying those things that they represent, we're going to be saying from the beginning of our time to right now, we are calling for. And I'll give you a couple examples, okay? So in the first one, my example are politicians. That's very hot and heavy subject right now. So to me, they represent dishonesty, greed, and they're secretive. From the beginning of my time to right now, I'm going to be calling in truth, transparency, community, and freedom. From chronic pain, which I have. I'm working on it. The thing it represents is limits. It distracts me, puts up a physical boundary, and it's a great excuse to get out of things I don't want to do. Like, I have a husband who really loves to do big adventures, and sometimes that's out of my comfort zone, or sometimes I just want to like hang out and read a book or something. And so I'll be like, I'm sorry, my back hurts too much, you know? And it all like feeds each other. So I'm going to be calling in harmony for my body. I'm calling in the best self-care, calling in for a stronger voice to setting boundaries and speaking my truth. And I'm calling in patience with myself and with others. So that's an example of homework. That's a very important part of the journey. And I really hope that you guys take the time for yourself, for self-care, to journal that. Okay. Best of luck. You can email me at tutaspeaks@gmail.com. You can also put some questions here or comments. And just remember also one of the reasons we're doing this is because the snakes, when you name names, we're not going to name names in the comments because this is energy work and it doesn't have to do with like one certain person. It has to do with what they represent and what you're going to be calling in. It's almost like we're erasing the situation and erasing the person's face, and we're going like through it to see where the root is of this tree. If we find the root, if we find out what it represents, and then if we can like put some medicine on that for ourselves and for others out there in the collective, we're going to go really far. So naming names, naming politicians, naming a family member, those sorts of things, we're trying to get through that. So in the comments, please do not name names, but feel free to tell me like what you came up with. That would be lovely. Okay, best of luck out there.